Good morning, 8th class. This is your English LIT class. Today we will read chapter number 2 of your English LIT book. So let's continue and come on chapter number 2. Chapter number 2 name is Dhyan Chand, the hockey wizard. In this chapter we study about Dhyan Chand, a well-known Indian field hockey player, widely regarded as one of the greatest players of all time. He joined the Indian Army when he was 16 years old. So let's start the chapter. Dhyan Chand, 29 August 1905 to 3 December 1979. This means he was born on 29 August 1905 and he was died on 3 December 1979. Was a well-known Indian field hockey player, widely regarded as one of the greatest player of all time. He is remembered even today for his goal-scoring feats. Feats means an achievement that requires great courage or deed. And for his 3 Olympic gold medals 1928, 1932 and 1936 in field hockey during an era when India was dominant in the sport known as the Wizard. For his superb ball control, Dhyan Chand played his final international match in 1948. Dominant means most important or cardinal. Having scored more than 400 goals during his remarkable international career. Dhyan Chand was born in Allahabad. He was the elder brother of another player, Roop Singh. His father, Sameshwar Dutt Singh, was in the British Indian Army and he played hockey in the army. Dhyan Chand had 2 brothers, Mool Singh and Roop Singh. Due to Sameshwar Dutt's numerous army transfers, the family had to move to different cities and so Dhyan Chand had to discontinue his education only after 6 years of schooling. The family finally settled down in Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh, India. Young Chand has no serious inclination towards sports, though he loved wrestling. He stated that he did not remember playing any hockey worth mentioning before he joined the army. Though he said that he occasionally means now and then sometimes indulged in casual games in Jhansi with his friends. Dhyan Chand joined the Indian Army when he was 16 years old. The Hindi word Chand literally means the moon. Since Dhyan Singh used to practice a lot at night after his duty hours, he invariably used to wait for the moon to come out so that the visibility in the field during his era there were no floodlights improved, hence he was called Chand by his fellow players, as his practice sessions at night invariably in very case or on every occasion or also consigned means you will say this is occasionally also with the coming out of the moon. Between 1922 and 1926, Chand exclusively played army hockey tournaments and regimental games. Chand was ultimately selected for the Indian Army team, which was to tour New Zealand. The team won 18 matches, drew 2 and lost only 1, and received praise from all spectators. Following this, in the two test matches against the New Zealand squad. In the team won the first and narrowly lost the second. Returning to India, Chand was immediately promoted to Lance Naik. After successfully lobbying the reintroducing field hockey in the Olympics, the newly formed Indian Hockey Federation made preparation to send its best possible team for the 1928 Amsterdam Olympics. In 1925, an inter-provincial tournament was organized to select India's national field hockey team. 5 teams participated in the inaugural National United Province UP, Punjab, Bengal, Rajputana and Central Province. Chand got permission from the army to play for the United Province team. In the first game in the tournament, Dhyan Chand drew much attention by his clever stick work. His penetrating runs and judicious passes seemed to assure for him a position in the team that was to participate in the Olympic Games. Encouraged by the success of the tournament, it was decided that it would be held every 2 years. After 2 more trial matches between several hopefuls, the Olympic team, including Chand as centre forward, was announced and assembled in Bombay. Centre half Broom Eric Pinniger was selected as the captain, which a quiet send-off. The team left for England on 10 March to play 11 matches against local sides as well in the Folkestones Festival, winning all. It was also said that the Great Britain did not send a team in 1928 to Amsterdam Olympics after their national team was defeated by the Indian team at Folkestone. In all the pre-Olympic matches against local Dutch, German and Belgium teams, the Indian team won by large margins. In the 1928 Amsterdam Summer Olympics, the Indian team was put in the division a table with Austria, Belgium, Denmark and Switzerland. On 17 May, the Indian national hockey team made its Olympic debut against Austria, winning 6-0 with Chand scoring 3 goals. The next day, India defeated Belgium 9-0. However, Chand only scored once. On 20 May, Denmark lost to India 5-0 with Chand scoring 3 goals. 2 days later, he scored a goal when India defeated Switzerland 6-0 in the semi-finals. The final match took place on 26th May with India facing the home team of the Netherlands. The Indian team's better players Firoz Khan, Ali, Shaukat and Kher Singh were on the sick list and Chand himself was ill. However, even when skeletal side, India could defeat the host 3-0 with Singh scoring 2, and the Indian team won its country's first Olympic gold medal. Keeper Richard Allen created a unique record of not conceding a single goal. Chand was the top scorer of the tournament by a large margin. He scored 14 goals in 5 matches. A newspaper report about India's trump said, Trump means victory or achievement. This is not a game of hockey, but magic. Dhyan Chand is in fact the magician of hockey. On returning to India, the team was received by thousands of people at the Bombay harbour. Dhyan Chand played various other matches and performed exceptionally well. Dhyan Chand breathed his last on 3 December 1979, leaving a world record and unprecedented fame to his credit, although there seems to be revival of the hockey sport once again in India. It is difficult to say whether India will ever be able to produce a hockey wizard like Dhyan Chand in future. May his tribe increase. So this is the story about Dhyan Chand. As a homework, you will read chapter 2 again and understand it properly, and write the word meanings or tough words of this chapter in your notebook with proper, neat and clean handwriting. I will say this again and again also. That's all.